Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Anything and Everything, the podcast where we talk about, well, anything and everything, here for you every Sunday. I am your host, Alyssa Gathers, and this week I am excited to be accompanied by my younger brother, Alex. On today's episode, he will be telling us all about the inside scoop of working at Starbucks. So grab a drink, sit back, and relax while listening to this week's episode. Well, welcome, Alex. How do you feel to be on the podcast this week?
I'm super excited to deliver the inside scoop of working at Starbucks so everyone can know a little bit behind the scenes of what it's like to work there and what we're doing in those 30 seconds that you're in our drive-thru line.
Before I get started with the questions, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm currently a junior in high school. I plan on owning my own cafe after high school, so Starbucks was a little experience before doing that.
When did you start working at Starbucks?
I started working at Starbucks on May 25th of last year, so I'm almost at 1 year of working there.
How's your experience been working at Starbucks so far?
So far, I'm really enjoying it. Sometimes I'm halfway through my shifts and I really want to go home, but the job just definitely isn't for everyone, I'd say that.
What has been one thing that you really dislike about working at Starbucks?
It's kind of funny because the one thing that I dislike about working at Starbucks is definitely the people who come to Starbucks. I think the issue that I have the most is with customers because there are plenty of really nice ones who are super nice and they're good while you're taking their order. They're polite, they say thank you. People occasionally tip, but there's always that run-in with the people who you just absolutely want to throw the drink at them through the window and tell them to get out of your line.
No, yeah, I totally get that. I have a couple years of customer experience myself, and I can definitely relate to that, and it's something you don't really think of until you are working in that sort of environment. So, on the contrary, what is one thing that you like about working at Starbucks?
I like the customers who do make working there a good time. I really like, obviously, working with coffee, which is why I want to branch out and continue doing that after working at Starbucks. And yeah, working with coffee, the benefits are really nice. It's always nice getting free drinks and coffee, and my coworkers as well.
Would you say that Starbucks has been a good start so far?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. It gives nice exposure to people and getting comfortable. I think that it's giving me the opportunity to see what it's like to run a business and decide whether or not I want to take on that responsibility.
So is wanting to own a business in your future the only reason that you've started at Starbucks, or what was the main benefit that really got you to apply and start working there?
I wouldn't necessarily say benefit, just more growing up and going to Starbucks to get a treat occasionally. I always thought that the baristas were so cool. So ever since I was like a toddler, I've always wanted to work at Starbucks. And sometimes when I'm working, I kind of just like, wow, it's been like 13 years since I was a little kid wanting to work at Starbucks. And it's so surreal that like I'm working here now, but it's not like I'm not like working for the president or anything. I'm literally serving coffee at a chain restaurant. But
no, yeah, you grow up so fast. So what would you say has been the most embarrassing thing about working at Starbucks, or most embarrassing thing that has happened to you while at work?
The most embarrassing thing about working at Starbucks, I would say, would definitely have to be the new tipping on the card reader, because handing that out the window and asking every customer to just answer that little question is like, I can't imagine how it feels to be the customer in that position. I know I would feel awkward, and like I like to tip at sit down places, but you know, unless it's a small business cafe, I myself don't tip, so I hate putting pressure on other people too.
Yeah, and tips are always nice and they're appreciated but never guaranteed, so it's definitely awkward asking for that.
I think the no thank you button needs to be bigger than the rest of them.
That's definitely something that can be quite embarrassing and a little awkward to ask of people. So for being at Starbucks for about a year now, as you said, what has been the most overrated drink that you have continuously had to make and you're just so over it?
I would definitely say the TikTok drink that was trending a while ago and people still get it, the iced white mocha with vanilla cold foam and caramel drizzle, because I personally think that the drink isn't even that good. You know, it's kind of like, why would you get such a vanilla basic thing when there are so many other things and great syrups on the menu that you could test out and try, and it's just really basic.
Oh, yeah.
It can be fun making it, but during a rush, it's definitely not something that I want to do.
Yeah, I've seen that drink everywhere, and a lot of people, when they order it, they just play the video too, so I'm sure you've heard all that a lot, and it can definitely move past that drink. So getting into the details a little bit more about the company, do you feel valued as a worker, or do you feel you're simply there to just do a job?
I think it goes both ways, because we're not called like their employees. They call everyone partners, and a guarantee as a partner is you get equal shares of the company. So we are working for people, but the idea of all working together is there.
That's awesome.
So that's nice, but I definitely think that it's a little messed up how we kind of break our backs, and people really think that Starbucks workers complain a lot, but I think that it's definitely like some of us have earned it. Yeah, because after working a 5-hour shift of standing all 5 hours, making, you know, we make like well over $800 an hour regularly on a weekend. So, you know, it's like 800 divided by whatever, you know, we're pushing out so many drinks, and everything is made by hand, and you know, it's not just like
a machine doing the job, it's you.
Exactly. Like, we don't have to tamp the espresso and everything, but we still have to pull the shots and hand steam the milk and everything, and it can just be a lot.
Okay. Yeah, no, that totally makes sense.
And then not seeing the revenue that's there. You know, our store makes so much money at the end of the day, but how much of it does the employees see? It's very little.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely understandable and can be a little bit irritating every now and then. So I'm going to ask you to spill the tea a little bit. What would you say is the biggest Starbucks secret that you have learned from working there that they might not want other people to know?
The biggest secret I would probably say is just how everything that you come through our line and get could be made at home for cheaper. You know, I think that there is something special about getting things made for you and going somewhere and having people serve you and make you coffee that, you know, maybe not everyone has an espresso machine at home, but I think that people, if they're interested and would like to take up the opportunity, you can be your own barista and make all the drinks that we make at home, and it's very simple, and a lot of the recipes are online.
Okay, that's good to know, I guess, if you are looking to save some money and not stop by Starbucks so much. Well, that is all the time that we have for today. Thank you, Alex, for giving us that inside scoop about working at Starbucks.
Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course, and thank you for listening to this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed it and are here next Sunday with me, where we'll be back to talk about anything and everything.